righty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's begin. Good morning to everyone who is here. My name is Martin Ricardo Cisneros Orozco Jr. Everybody repeat. Oh no, yeah, don't adjust your volume. It's okay. My name is Martin Cisneros. I am going to be your facilitator today. If you follow me on the socials, I am known as the Tech Profe. I am an education evangelist with Adobe K-12. You're probably saying, Martin, what the heck is an Adobe evangelist, right? And all I can say is I just finished my 27th year in education. I'm going to throw that. I'm going to rewind that again. I finished my 27th year in education. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I started teaching in the late 1900s. For you young people in the crowd, right? I tell people I started teaching before we had Google, right? So for me, it's like, yes, I've gone through the grade levels. I've taught everything except, ready for this? First, second, seventh, 10th, and 11th. I've done it all. At some point along the way, someone said, Martin, you make a great administrator. So I believed them, and I went and I tried that out for 4 years. I became an administrator, I got my master's, I got my credential. I tried it out, but it's a job that's for other folks, not me. So I became a curriculum director, and then I became a technology curriculum, then special ed, and there were so many different things. Worked for the state, 4 different county offices. I am from Silicon Valley, right, California. So you guys are my neighbors. I'm actually heading up there this weekend. So yeah, good times. But I'm here today because it's all about how do we bring creativity into our classrooms, right? All of us have gone through what we call our masked years in education, right? When we were all wearing masks and we were at home, and then now, everyone threw 333 tools at us, and we're like, okay, what should we use? What shouldn't we use? So I'm going to tell you this, my last position prior to coming on board to Adobe, I was a chief technology officer. So that was my last position before coming on board. And like for most of you, they threw all these tools at us, but in my head, my thing was which tools build agency for our students. And one of the things that I found out is, well, there's this thing used to be called Adobe Spark. It's now called Adobe Express. So for those of you who are like, oh, I've heard of Adobe, and most of you might have used Adobe at some point. I know we have Photoshop, Illustrator. Those are our big boy, big girls tools, right? But I'm talking about how do we start in kindergarten? How do we start in 5th grade? How do we start in 8th grade, right? How about those students who don't have the opportunity to have used Adobe Express, Adobe, the big tools. So the big tools are known as Creative Cloud. What I'm talking about today is Adobe Express, which are the free tools for K-12. So what are we going to learn today, ladies and gentlemen? How to create meaningful graphics that connect to your curriculum. We're going to learn about how to make videos without videos. Did you hear that? I'm going to rewind that again. How do you make videos without videos? I'm going to show you how to do that. And then how do we create digital portfolios for our students learning? Yeah. So let's get on Adobe Express, right? So if you've never used it before, it is free 99. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that price. It is free 99. So if you don't have it, you'll have my information. Connect with me and we'll get your district up and running. But yeah, so it's free. So it's not going to cost anybody anything, right? I say the reason why I say free 99, the 99 part is we need to have your IT department set it up. And if you don't have an IT department, I can still help you out. So win-win all the way around, right? So our schedule for today, we're going to be talking about visible thinking. We're going to be looking at Express posts, how to create graphics. We're going to look at videos. We're going to create a portfolio and then talk to you about how else we can help you out. Also including free professional learning for your site. Yeah, so it's all about free 99 today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's make thinking visible, infographics, posters, and so much more. The first question you should be asking is why, right? I love Dan Myers, who just came out and he talked about the whole reasons why we should be looking math differently in the classroom. So I'm going to say the same thing about this, because if you looked at his stuff, a lot of it was visible thinking, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. So what is visible thinking? Well, studies, and I'm just pointing out the one that was done by Vanderbilt here. Our brains are wired to rapidly make sense and remember visual input. The reason why I say this is because for those of us who don't, who are new to this, just think about it this way. If you ever go to a place or visit a country where you don't know the language or you've never been there, if you see a sign of something with a big red circle and a line across, you're going to go ahead and do that, right? No, Rochelle, no. The answer is no, you don't do that. So what you want to do is, of course, you want to make sure that visualizations in the form of diagrams, charts, drawings, pictures, and a variety of other ways can help students understand complex information. And that's what we're all about, right? So With that being said, I want you to take a look at some of the examples on the left-hand side. We're taking a look at the elementary, right? So think about the Three Little Pigs. We've all heard of the Three Little Pigs. Well, what if we created a Netflix series about the Three Little Pigs from the point of view of the wolf? What would that cover look like? And we did this for assignment for first and second graders, and this is what they came up with on the left-hand side. On the middle side, we're talking about DNA, and then, of course, the new generation of how we might be able to modify DNA. So middle schoolers, we're learning about that. So this is a great way for them to show us what they know, because isn't that one part of the key of today's learning, right? We're not just teachers anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We've always been more than teachers. We are modern learning advisors. That's what we all are. So how are we going to get our students to grab the skills that they need for their future, not our future? Because even though 1989 was a great year, yes, we need to prepare our students for their future, right? So on the right-hand side, you have, of course, all the misinformation that's going on. Yes, Dave Kelly, yes, you can steal it, you can brand it. I just get 10% cut. That's all I'm saying, right? It's, let's give credit where credit's due. But on the right-hand side, you see, of course, the misinformation that's going on. And we have, of course, high school students, grappling with that idea. What is it going to look like moving forward? So, I talked for about 7 minutes. It's time for me to stop talking. It's time for you to start creating. So let's do something really, really cool. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a participant guide. Yay, we're going to create stuff. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put this on the chat. I am going to put the participants page on the chat, so that way you can access it. And for those of you who are just viewing it, you can take a picture of this, or if you're on your mobiles, you can do this as well. If you're using a mobile device, you can also download the app Adobe Express for the stuff that we're going to do. Give everybody some time. And what is that? What am I hearing? Oh, you want some soft music while you go ahead and enter your login information in Adobe Express. Hey, Lindsay, how you doing? Oh, yeah. Welcome. Tierney, are you in? You good? All right. I'll take any dedications for the next 15 seconds while we begin. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully you were able to go ahead from here. You click in, and we're going to get into Adobe Express, but you should be able to get into this page where all the goodness is going to be. So we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go here where it says step one. On step one, on the right-hand side, you're going to see creative identity graphic template. You're going to click on that, and that's going to get you to this page if you're on your computer. Now, on here, the next step is going to ask you to log into Adobe Express. So here's where it gets really interesting, right? Thank you, Donna. I'm glad you like my voice. I usually try to drop it just a little bit lower, but yeah. So what we're doing here is right before you click on that remix, that design button on the bottom, it's going to ask you to log into Adobe Express. Now, if you have Adobe Express at your school, you already know it, log in like you normally would. If you do not, here is my recommendation. So let me do this for you.
I'm sorry to ask, do we need to click on graphic template?
Yes, but before you do that, I want to show you something though. So before you go in there, because what it's going to ask you to do is the following. So when you're gonna click on this remix this design, it's going to ask you to log in. It's going to look like this, right? So here's my suggestion. If you belong to a school district that already has Adobe Express, it's easy breezy. You click over here on the right hand side where it says log in with school account. And if you are a Google location, you're going to log in with Google, or you're going to log in with your email address up here. I highly do not recommend, once again, I highly do not recommend you log in with Apple or Facebook, because that's a whole different other side. If you don't have an account, if you don't have a school account, what does that mean? What is the difference? The difference is the following. We're giving our premium stuff to all of K-12. But if you don't have one, contact me later on today, and then we can get you set up with your school district. What that means, if you don't have a means to log in with your regular Google account, but it's just going to mean the following: you're not going to get all the bells and whistles because there is a premium. All of K-12 schools globally get the premium version from Adobe. But if you don't have access to it now, just go along and play with us for now. And then contact me later on today, and then let's get that set up for your school. Yay! Do y'all get that messaging? Cool. All good, all good. All right. So back to our scheduled program. So you are now, once again, we went from here. That was the page that got us to the participants page, and you scroll down. We clicked on this identity graphic template. And then over here, you are going to click on remix this design. So you're going to click on remix this design. It's going to ask you to log in. And then if you're already logged in, it's going to bring you into the template. So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to make sure that it is here. And I'll give you 30 seconds while we play some smooth R&B jazz.
Hey, Martin, my friend can't get in and she's tried all the different rooms. Do you know why?
Can't get into this room?
She can't get, she tried to jump in here with us. She tried to jump in a different room. She's not able to get into any room.
Please have her go to Canvas and click on the support tech, and they'll be able to figure out why she can't get in.
Okay, do you have a link that I can send her? Well, I guess I can just let her know that.
Here's the link. Here's the link for it. 1 second. And I am not a a Zoom user. So if anybody can suggest how I can get rid of the dinging, I'm all for it.
No worries. It reminds us, right? It's all good. All right. So now we're in the graphic, right? And we have a bunch of templates, but I love this one because we can either use this with teachers or we can use this with students. I've used this with a variety of different folks, but I wanted to show you a few cool things about it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is in Adobe Express. On the left-hand side, you have all the stuff that you can add to your graphic. On the right-hand side over here is you're going to have all the stuff that you can edit. So I'm going to put my little spotlight so you can see my cursor. So all the stuff over here you can edit, all the stuff over here you can add. So the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to click down here where it says, who is Mina Thomas? Because last time I checked, my name is not Mina Thomas. So I'm going to click on the text here, and you're going to see the edit text pop up in the top. So I'm going to change that to my name. I'm going to put Martin Neros, right? So now it changes that down here, easy breezy, right? We can now go in there and then, of course, click on the rest of the template on the lettering, and we can change that out. So up here at the top, it says excited learning how to code. I'm excited. What am I excited about? Learning how to create animations. How to animations, right? So you can go ahead and do that for the rest of the text that you see here, but we're going to get to some more interesting stuff. Trish, I will make sure that I will answer your question at the very end for today. So thank you for your patience. What I'm going to do now is, you see this ice cream down here at the bottom? Everyone see that? I don't know about you. I just came from Alaska, and the last thing I want to eat right now is ice cream. But I did try something new, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I tried? I tried some reindeer tacos. Oh, I know. It's off the wall, right? You're like, Martin, what are you doing? Rudolph is your friend. Why are you trying to eat him? Well, first and foremost, he's delicious, just so y'all know. It's an Alaskan thing. They sell it at Costco in Alaska, right? Who knew? Anyways, I'm clicking here on the ice cream, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here where it says edit shape. I can click on the color, and you can create different colors for what you're trying to do. But what I'm going to do, instead of changing the colors, I'm going to click on the ice cream, and I'm going to go up here to where it says replace. Now I want you to see this. When you click on replace, you're going to see a bunch of shapes pop up. Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You now have access to thousands and thousands of different icons. For those of you who have used the project now before, it is now free 99. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now free 99 with your Adobe subscription. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, forget ice cream. Remind me of those reindeer tacos. So I'm going to click on tacos. And you're going to see all these different, how many tacos do you say? Oh, 178 different flavored tacos. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to click on this one because that one looks yummy. And when I do, you're going to see down here that it automatically replaced it. Now I can grab the four corners and make this graphic as big as I want. I can move this leveler so I can move the orientation, right? And you're thinking, oh, I can use this for so many things. Oh, but it gets better, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Lindsay, are you paying attention, Lindsay? Okay, so check this out, Lindsay. You see that woman in the graphic? You see her, right? She looks pretty good, right? Last time I looked in the mirror, I didn't look that good in the orange sweater. So we're going to change her out, Lindsay, because we're talking about Martín Cisneros, not Mina, right? So look at this. I'm going to click on Mina. I'm going to click on her beautiful head right there. And then the way you know that it's clicked on, because you see the four, little bumps on the corners here. And then I'm going to go up here to where it says replace at the top right, where it says edit image. Now, if I click replace, what's going to happen is on the left-hand side, this is where Adobe really gets really cool, because now we have thousands and thousands of free, I'm going to repeat that again, of free 99 stock images by professional photographers that you and your students can now use. Because I know what you're thinking, Martin, last time I did anything, creative, my students, went and just got a bunch of memes and, stuff that wasn't appropriate, and we couldn't, you don't have to worry about none of that anymore, because we filter all of our stuff for K-12 and we have high quality images. But once again, who are we talking about? We're talking about Martín Cisneros, not Mina Thomas, not any other teacher. So what I'm going to do is, I can go up here and type in the word teacher, right? I could do that. And what you're going to see is you're going to see thousands and thousands. So I can grab this lovely woman right here. Click on her face, and I want you to see that she has a classroom in the background, but I want you to see the magic of Adobe. Adobe automatically senses, oh, you want to remove the background. We're going to do that automatically for you. What? How did they know, right? So what I'm going to tell you is, when you're working with Adobe, it's like my grandma told me when I was a small child, Martin, God doesn't like ugly. It's a whole other story, though. It's because she caught me dancing with a girl she didn't like. So, but anyways, that's a whole different other story. We don't have time for that. But what I will tell you is, I think my grandmother works with me at Adobe, because Adobe doesn't like ugly either. So we make sure that we have what we call design bumpers for you. So cute looking a teacher here. But once again, who are we talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Martín Ricardo Cisneros Orozco Jr. Repeat. Okay, no? Did you guys get the junior part? Okay, that's all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on her head here. I'm going to go back up here to where it says replace. And this time I'm going to go up here where it says upload photo, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I'm going to click on upload photo, because I know somewhere in my computer I have a picture of myself. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this, right? You see that? That's a picture of me. Do you all see there's a background? Yes, there is a background, isn't there? Yeah. Look at that. So I'm going to click open, and then I'm going to say, look, mom. No, oh, wait. Oh, something went wrong. Okay. First mistake. Let's delete that. Right. And we're going to click on this teacher again. We're going to click on replace, click on upload photo. I grab a picture and make sure it's the picture we want. And then we're going to click on open. And then I'm going to say, mom, look, no hands. And in a few seconds, the magic of Adobe is going to allow us to do, bam, the following. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm just going to bring him down just a little bit. And now I'm going to talk about, well, what does he love? Well, you know what? I do love reading books, but you know what kind of love reading is audio books, because I always have time to put my earbuds in and I listen to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts, right? It says over 5,000 students taught, but you know what I'm going to put? Over 27 years in education. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do I love mountain biking, but you know what I also enjoy doing? I'm going to go down here where it says shapes, and I am going to type in the word music. Because not only do I love listening to music, I also play music. So I'm going to put this little drum here just because I like it. And right? You're thinking, ooh, Martin, I can do so much with this. Yes, and there's still so much more to learn. But I'm going to go up here and I can add whatever I want. And you're thinking, Martin, this already looks great, right? It looks amazing. So amazing. Lindsay decided to bring a friend along and say, look, he's doing an awesome job. I just pick on folks who have their cameras on. So thank you, Imelda, for being such a great student and paying attention. So now, right? Now we have all this stuff going on. Oh, but I know your students very, very well. They're like, is there anything else I can do? And I'm like, oh, of course you can, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the white background, right? And when I click on the white background on the top, it says edit background. Once again, I can click on the color. I can choose different colors for my background. Oh, but our students want more than just changing colors. Do you know what they want, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to show you. When I click on the white background, I'm going to click on choose an image. Now I can go over here and I can put whatever I want. So I'm going to type in the word spectrum because I love the word, but also because it gives me all these beautiful backgrounds that I can now add to my graphic. Oh, look at that. But look at this, right? Bam. And now I can go in here to the right. And once again, this is where I say where you can do a lot of the edits. Now you're thinking, Martin, this looks pretty darn good. It's getting a lot better, isn't it? Oh, but there's more, ladies and gentlemen, to that free 99 price. That's right. So check this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, Martin, those are cool colors, but is there a way to change those colors? And the answer is yes. You can click on any one of these shapes, go in here, and you can change any of these. But I'm going to tell you something even better, right? Once again, Adobe doesn't like ugly. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go up here to where it says colors, right? I just click on the background over here. So we're in the gray. I'm going to click on colors. And look at this. I have a color palette, but I can change this color palette. I can go down here to the bold color palette, click on that, and look at this. By clicking on the remixing, right, your students can automatically change the color palette to better match the background or whatever it is. Remember how I said before that Adobe puts these designer bumpers, right? My quick story for this is back in the late 1900s, for you young ones, there used to be these things called computer labs. And in computer labs, we were only able to use a computer lab twice a month, 55 minutes only. So this wonderful teacher thinks, oh, my students are going to go in there and they're going to create these wonderful presentations. It's going to be awesome. And you know what they do for 50 minutes out of the 55 minutes, ladies and gentlemen? I will tell you, they focused on what font they were going to use for their presentations, right? So what ended up happening was there was no presentations ever created because they were more focused on the other small little elements. Adobe has these designer bumpers where they're like, nope, 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 nope. We are going to give you a color palette, right? It's like having your own designer right next to you. It's the artificial intelligence of Adobe called Sensei. So Sensei is always at your side, right? So now you have that. You're like, ooh, Martin, this looks pretty cool. Oh, but it gets even better, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. So if I click on the gray up here again, I'm going to click on animation. And on animation, that's right. Look at that. We can now change our wonderful graphic into an animated art piece, right? Color shuffle, right? Look at that. Bam. Oh, who's ready for the holidays? Woohoo, right? We're starting getting to some really cool graphics. Of course, I have all these different ones. We also have photo animations as well. We have so many different things, or you can say, nope, don't want to change it. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen, like you're sometimes like, oh, this would be great if I can post these up for the classroom. Oh, can we do these for a post, or can we resize these, right? And the answer is yes, because look at this, right? Down here at the bottom, this is what I have so far. I'm going to click on this duplicate page, right? Which means it's going to make a copy of that page. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to go to resize and look at this. Do you want to change that into an Instagram story? Bam! You know what? Do you want this an Instagram landscape? Bam! Right? Oh, no, you're an old-timey, right? We're still in Facebook. Bam! Yeah, take that, grandma. Look at my graphics now, right? So now you can change these without having to go in there, right? Let's get on Twitter before it dies. Everyone this week, let's get on Twitter before it dies. But anyways, as you're posting, right? And don't forget, tag me, thetechprofit.com, or just tag me at thetechprofit, right? But what I'm trying to see here is you can create another copy of this, and maybe it's a letter, maybe it's a newsletter that you're going to send home, and you can add all these different other elements. Look at that. And at the bottom, you see your 3 iterations of the same graphic. That's going to save you so much time. I wish I had more time with you because we can talk about branding. That's right. You can create your own logo for your own class with your own colors and brand everything that you and your students produce. So that way it's always the same. Speaking about producing, right? So how do you share this? How do we get this to out and about? You can either download it, and you can download this, either this page, all the pages you created. You can download this as a PNG or PDF. And here's what I'm going to tell you. If you download as a PDF, Adobe automatically knows that you're like, oh, they're going to print this. So it gives you a higher quality image on a PDF. Bam. You don't have to do anything else but download it. The other way you can share is by clicking up here on the top right where it says share. And you can, of course, share it. Invite other people, or publish. That's right. You can add a link to it. If you come to my next class, I'm going to show everybody how to make a template. That just like you just did the template, I'm going to show you how to do that as well on my next class. I just don't have time for today. So much to learn, isn't there? Oh yeah. So how much would you pay now? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for free 99, you can also do videos without video. So check this out. So the first thing I tell people is make sure you go to the top and you do my, oh, am I spelling that correct? Yep, right, Nevada, identity, graphic. And I tell people to name it because if not, it's going to turn like your Google Drive the first time you use it when you have 1,001 untitled documents, and nobody wants that. So I'm going to say the same thing here. Make sure, if not, you're going to have a bunch of my projects and you're not going to know which is your project. So other than that, we're going to go back to Adobe Home by clicking on the Home button. We're going to scroll down, and on the bottom, you're going to see projects. Projects are all the wonderful things that you have created over time. This is like your home folder, right? Below that, you have brands. I will talk a little bit about this in my next class if you want to learn how to create your own brand. And then we have libraries. Libraries, I'm going to show you how to create, so that way your students have a place so they can go and remix all the templates that you curate for them, right? And then down here, we have resources. So if you want to learn more about customizing posters, free lesson plans, we have tons of lesson plans for you. And oh, what? Look at this. It's your new personal friend, Martin Cisneros, with a 30-minute class, because no one has time for documentaries, right? A 30-minute class on building community with Adobe Express. You also have my two amigos over here, sketchnoting with Adobe Express with Manuel Herrera, and then of course my great friend Tanya Avereth, Visible Thinking Routines. All these are 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, right? All these are 30 minutes, and you can learn so much. So we'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the top big plus sign. This is where all the magic happens. And on the plus side, this is where you can do all these wonderful things. We don't have time for everything. We do have time for one, which is right here where it says video. I'm going to click on video, and on video, I'm going to say what I'm excited about here, because we want to make sure that everybody gives their video a title. We hit next. Here's the magic of Adobe, ladies and gentlemen. Just like we give you design bumpers, Adobe has done the research and says, okay, here are the top 7 stories every student needs to learn how to tell. Promote an idea, tell what happened, a hero's journey, show and tell. What? There is a template for show and tell? Oh, yes, there is. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that our students know how to do all of these. Personal growth, teach a lesson, right? And if we continue going on over here, an invitation or make up your own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the show and tell, just so you can see how this works, right? You can create your own from scratch. So I'm going to just choose this one so you can see how this works. If you ever worked on the Google Drive, on the Google Slide or a PowerPoint or a Keynote for you Mac users, it's pretty much the same thing. So check this out, right? So the first thing it says, oh, here's a slide deck. Martin, do you want to insert a video, a text, a photo, or an icon? I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put in a photo. So the photo, once again, I am going to go up to my handy dandy place, and I am going to put my picture in here. So I'm going to do that. And the next thing, I still see a plus right in the middle, right? So what I'm going to do next is as soon as this thing uploads, I'm going to hit on that plus sign. As this thing is still uploading, what I'm going to tell you is on the bottom down here, these are all the different slides that we're going to turn into movies. I'm going to show you what that means in a moment. So now that my picture is up, I'm going to click on the little plus line, and then I can either choose an icon or a text. I am just going to choose a text, and I'm going to type in my name, Cisneros, right? And it looks pretty good right there, although I don't want it to be straight across. So over here on the right-hand side, I can edit. So I can do this into a split screen. I can do this into a caption. Ooh, I like me the caption. So I'm going to stay there and look at this. It has a microphone. Ooh, what can we do with the microphone? We can record our voiceover, right? The first time you use this, it's going to ask you, do you allow Adobe Express to use your microphone? The answer should be yes. After that, you don't worry about that anymore. So now I'm going to click on it and I'm going to introduce myself. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Martin Cisneros, and today I'm going to tell you about what I'm excited about to do this year in my class. Bam. The first thing you know that when you click that, you record over whatever's in here. And down here at the bottom, right, you see that 0.08. That means that this slide is 8 seconds long. So we're like, great. Let's go to the second slide over here. So the second slide down here, it says, what is it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the split screen, right? And over here, I'm going to put text, and then I'm going to talk about graphics. Over here, I'm going to click on the plus sign, and this time I'm going to click on icon, and we have, like I said, thousands of icons, and I'm going to type in the word graphics. And when I do so, it's going to give me a ton of different cool little graphics. I'm going to choose this one because it looks fun, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about it once again. One of the cool things that I love using Adobe Express is because I can use graphics and infographics in so many ways to make something complex look so very, very simple. Bam, I'm done. This is only 9 seconds. One more, and I'm going to show you the magic of this. Now it's the why, right? Why? So once again, I'm going to use split screen. Over here is because I want to give voice expression. Here, I can go back in here. I can choose photo. Here, if you have a picture of your students, great. If not, just type, type in graphic students. That's not a thing. Back, students. And I'm going to say, all right, here are some students. I'm going to throw those guys in there. Bam, there they are. And I'm going to record over it once again. So I'm really excited because I want to make sure that I give voice and choice and different types of expression. I want my students to show me what they know in different formats or in the most comfortable formats. All right, folks, here's what you see me do. You saw me add images. You saw me add text. You saw me add icons. You saw me add my voice. Now, check out the ending. I'm going to click play now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Martin Cisneros, and today I'm going to tell you about what I'm excited about to do this year in my class. So one of the cool things that I love using Adobe Express is because I can use graphics and infographics in so many ways to make something complex look so very, very simple. So I'm really excited because I want to make sure that I give voice and choice and different types of expression. I want my students to show me what they know in different formats or in the most comfortable formats. And okay, we're still fixing on that bug. So what do y'all think? Yay? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. No applause. No, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I love it. Mary,
Yes.
Thank you. Rochelle,
Excellent.
thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. They like me. They really like me. So yes, right? So what I love about this, I mean, you're probably listening to her like, Martin, you were all slick Rick. How did you put the music in? Guess what? I did not. Remember what I said before? Adobe doesn't like ugly, so it's going to make sure you look good. It auto-magically. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The word for today is auto-magically. It auto-magically puts the sound in because Adobe knows that a good story always has good background music. So check this out, right? You don't like that music, you can go in here or on the top right under the tab where it says music, and we can change the music because if you like that Woodland Jam, oh yeah. Or if you wanted to make it easy, like a Sunday morning, do that. Or, I know Halloween just passed, but maybe in a world without Adobe. Or, hear ye. Today, we're going to learn the creative aspects of Adobe Express. Or we can get a little Western, right? Anywho, what I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is you can change the music, and it does something else that a lot of people don't know. You can make the music softer or louder, totally up to you. You can turn the music off or back on. Or if you have musical students, you can have them add their own music. But I'll tell you this, right? Yes, thank you, Jory. So what I love about this, it also has something called ducking. So for those of you who edit video, you already know what it is. For those of you who do not, I'm going to show you what that means. So ducking means is you're hearing background music, right? And as soon as someone starts to speak, what it does automatically, it lowers the music so you can hear the voice come through. And as soon as we stop speaking, it brings the music back up. Again, automatically, right? So Adobe understands the teacher because it knows that your students can fly off in so many different directions. So that's why these design bumpers are really, really slick. Other things that you can do with Adobe Video is, what I didn't show you is this, right? You can also add a video to the video. Let me show you what that means. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce to you a new tool that is coming soon. But guess what? I'm going to give you access to this today so you can go and play with it. And what you can do, or your students can come in here and say, you know what? Today I feel like a unicorn. This don't we all, because we are all Saturday educators, right? And then now what we're going to do is we're going to add a background. So the background is, I am going to add, okay, that looks like Tahoe to me. So on here, I'm not going to hit record. God, this is so amazing. I love Adobe Express. Please, please, please allow your students to use Adobe Express so we can create some really cool stuff. I'm hitting done. And now what it's doing, it's processing that animation, right? So like I said before, what Adobe is, Adobe pulls from our big tools, which is, Premiere, Photoshop, Illustrator, all the ones that most of our students don't know how to use. But now the reason you want to use Adobe Express is because Adobe Express is a scaffold of skills so they can learn the big tools, right? It's free. It works on any device, whether they're using their phones, whether they're using their their tablets, whether they're using their MacBooks, Chromebooks, or whatever web-enabled device, right? You have it at your fingertips. So now, what Adobe Express is trying to do, or Adobe just in general, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that you and your students have the tools that you need in order to bring not only critical thinking, creative expression, and of course, reflection in your classroom. And now check out the ending. I'm going to hit play. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I love Adobe Express. Please, please, please allow your students to use Adobe Express so we can create some really cool stuff. So now, right over here, you can edit, so we can cut the corners on either side, and now we can download it, right? And the reason we want to download it is because as this thing is processing the video, what we're going to do, yes, Adrian, yes, your kids are going to love it, but you know who more is going to love it? You're going to love it, because I'm sorry, I just took away 1 hour of your life, because I know a lot of you are going to be playing with it. But I'm going to tell you what, you put this online, you tag me, and I'm going to put this for everyone. If you do a video today, right, and you tag me at the Tech Profe and the hashtag Adobe Edu Creative, you're automatically able to win some cool swag from Adobe. So all you have to do is post Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of those three. You can do LinkedIn if you like. Tag me and the hashtag Adobe Edu Creative. And post your video about what you learned today. That would be awesome. And you will automatically be entered to win some really cool stuff. And this is just for today only. So prize is just for today for this particular session, right? So I know what you're saying. How do you get the animation program? This is how I make you stay until the very end of the session. So before we do that, I just finished downloading it because we're going to go back to finish this off. So once again, we're creating videos. You saw me do the icons. You saw me do the pictures. I'm going to click show it. So now I'm going to click video, and it says, Martin, where's your video? I'm going to say, oh, I just finished downloading it. Now I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to say, I want the whole thing, right? So I'm going to hit save. So now, as it's saving for my video clip, we are going to see my movie one last time. Yes, Rochelle. The answer is yes, 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 yes. So definitely connect with me afterwards and we'll get you set up. So on here, once again, now I'm going to play my full movie. I'm going to click on this over here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Martin Cisneros, and today I'm going to tell you about what I'm excited about to do this year in my class. So one of the cool things that I love using Adobe Express is because I can use graphics and infographics in so many ways to make something complex look so very, very simple. So I'm really excited because I want to make sure that I give voice and choice and different types of expression. I want my students to show me what they know in different formats or the most comfortable formats. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I love Adobe Express. Please, please, please allow your students to use Adobe Express so we can create some really cool stuff. All right. And there's a little bug for today, just so we all know. At the very end, and this I know that the team is working. Oh, there it is. There at the very end, it gives credits. That's the other thing that I tell people. The more you use our tools, the more your students understand not only about media literacy, but also how to create the right stuff, right? This is what I mean. The more your kids use our tools, the more skill sets they're going to learn. That's going to be great for them once they leave K-12, whether they go to university, go into industry, or they plan their own business, whatever that might be, right? So that is there. So what do you think so far? Yay? Would you pay the price of free 99 now? Oh, but it gets better, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Before we leave here with video, right? Before we leave with the video, I want you to understand you can also resize it. So we can go from widescreen to square. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Martin, why in the world would we want to do square video? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know you have your wonderful flat screens at home, but where are your students at? They're in the social media realm, aren't they? And guess what they use? They use square video, ladies and gentlemen, just like we were back in the 1970s. Oh, yeah, it was square TVs, right? So you can do that. You can also change the theme. So we talked about theme, right? So you can do different themes along the way. As you see here, we can change the different ways of how our presentations look. So this is pretty darn slick. So they do have a variety of really cool, but timekeeper, time lord, how much more time do we have?
You have 12 minutes.
All right.
You're doing well.
Enough time. Enough time for the last part. So on here on the video, right? So what you do with the video, you click, go up here to where it says share and you hit publish. Ooh, publish. That's right. That's another skill that students need to know how to use, right? So in here, they can put a subtitle, they can put an author, they're going to click here, create link. And this is the link that they publish. This is how they would turn in work to you. I also want you to know that Adobe Express connects with Google Classroom, connects with Canvas, right? It connects with Peer Deck if you use Peer Deck as well. It connects with all these different other resources that you are already using in your classroom. Woohoo! Right? So anyways, as this thing is preparing, I will then be showing you one more other thing from Adobe. So with Adobe, we are going to go ahead, click here, and are going to the big plus sign. And this time we're going to scroll down to where it says portfolio or web page. They're both the same thing. So I'm going to hit portfolio just for today's purposes. And on here, I'm going to type in a child's name, which is my very own Caleb. And then down here for a subtitle, I'm going to put learning portfolio. And then on the big plus sign, right, we can add photos, a short cover, or a different layout. I'm just going to choose photos. And I can add anything. And right now, my son is really into percussion. So learning percussion. So I'm going to type in the word drum. And those are some pretty cool drums. Ooh, I kind of like this one. I'm going to make that his backdrop. And then I'm going to scroll down and you're going to see this plus sign. And look at that. We can add more photos, text, buttons, videos, a photo grid slideshow, a split layout. Yes, I want a split layout. Why? I'm going to show you. I'm going to click on split layout. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to add an image. I have an image of my child somewhere on my computer. If I find it, going once, going twice, and there he is. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's right. This is my 2012 model, right? I call all my kids by the models that they are. So this is my 2012 model. So then what I would have them do is go over here on the right-hand side, on the plus side, click on it and add text. And then I would have him introduce himself. And then, of course, I would have them talk a little bit more about himself. I would then scroll down, and then down here, I would add another photo. So the good thing about Adobe Express is you can create as many graphics as you like. And this is something that we crew. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? And date added. And go. There we go. So this was a graphic that I created. If you want to learn how to do this, come to my next session. So I created a graphic for a student to tell a teacher a little bit about themselves, what they're excited about, how they like to learn, what they want their teacher to know about them, right? How they like to receive feedback and how they like to be praised. So we're going to be creating graphics and challenges, right? So I do that, and then we go down here, and then now we can add video as well. You click on video, it's going to ask you for a code, right, for the URL, either a YouTube, Vimeo, or an Adobe one. So I'm going to go back here to Adobe, to our video, and here it is, right? This is what I'm going to copy. On the video part, all I did was share, click publish, right? And then I copy this link. I then go here to my portfolio. I hit paste. And then now, in a few seconds, that video, but anyway, what you're seeing here is you're now seeing the creation of a portfolio. So if I go here and click preview, right, or present, whichever one, I want you to see what we just finished building in about 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this looks gorgeous, and I've only shown you the very tip of what your students can do. If your students can upload a photo, they now know how to create a website. If you know how to upload a photo, you now know how to create a website, right? Or think about your lesson plans, or think about, your units, all the information that you need. Because what I will show you, following, right? So if I always tell people that there are so many different ways of this, but this is the beginning, right? I'm going to show you what the end looks like. So Caleb is, like I said before, he's my 2012 model. I'm going to show you my 1996 model, my oldest son. And he went through the same training that my little one is going through, but he is now 26. He graduated from university 2 years ago, and he is now a movie director, and he creates film for special effects. This is a portfolio as well. This is how he got his last job, right? Because now you're coming in here, and this is Marcus. Marcus showcasing all of his stuff. Like, what? He knows how to do visual effects? Well, what exactly does that mean? Let me showcase. Anyways, if you want to see the rest of his stuff, it's marcuscisneros.com. But what I want to show you is that, he showcases his work on his portfolio. So that way he knows what he has his about page, right? All about him, and he has a contact. Now what I'm going to do is show you the metamorphosis of this thing, because all of these things were done with Adobe tools, but I want you to see the spectrum, right? We started off with Marcus. We have his brother. We started off with Caleb. Then we have his older brother. And then we have Dad, my own. This is thetechprofit.com. All these things were done with Adobe. So I want you to see the spectrum of where these things could go, right? So yes, the answer is, what can you do with Adobe Express? It's like every possibly think of. There is so much more I wish I can share, but I do want to spend some time answering questions. What questions do you have for me? You can put them on the chat, or you can undo your microphone and let me know. We have 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. Okay, how do you get the Adobe animation? All right, yes, let's get you Adobe audio. So let me do that. And I'm gonna grab that on the chat.
I noticed that I've done projects in Adobe Spark and that they are in this. So they've just been absorbed. I didn't lose them.
I don't know how to answer that because I know, so for those of you who know what's from Adobe Spark was the first iteration of this that got thrown into Adobe Express. Unless you're using iOS. Right now, we're still transferring those apps into just one. You can download Adobe Express app for Android and iOS. But if you want to do the video and the websites, you still have to download Adobe Spark Page and Adobe Spark Video for now. But hopefully by next year, that should be all under one. I hope that explains a little. Other questions I can answer. How do I get my educational account? So Vanessa and everyone else, let me go down here. I am going this guy on. So on here, oh, it doesn't give. If you have a phone, do a QR scan of this right now. That's going to give you all of my contact information. If not, just go online to any social media and type in, as you see up here, the Tech Profe, and you'll be able to get at me. So that way, if you need help setting up your school's Adobe Express account, or you can guide me to someone who I can help with, I can do that as well. I'm gonna start reading some other questions. Okay, Brian. Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, one more thing. No, before you go, thank you, Brian. You just reminded me of something. So if you want to learn more about Adobe Express, come into our Adobe Education Exchange and sign up, right? I'm going to put that link down here at the bottom. So this is Adobe Education Exchange. So in here, you can come in here, click on find resources, and you can find resources by different subjects. If you just want to, you have the other tools, you just want to learn about Adobe Express, they're there. If you want to, for me, I just use the stuff that includes templates so I can use it as quick as Monday if I wanted to, right? Or whenever. You also have educational level. So primary, right? And then we even have early childhood, kindergarten, third grade, secondary, high school. Not only that, but if you want to continue learning, professional learning, click on professional learning up here. And my favorite, click under 30 minutes. And look who pops up. That's right, your new best ed tech buddy, Martin Cisneros, pops up, and the rest of his evangelist friends. These are all 30-minute or less classes that you get to learn very specifics about Adobe Express, whether it's writing, whether it's digital portfolios, graphic organizers, goal setting, formative assessment, student presentations, and infographics with Claudio Zavala. Right. These are, and we're going to continue to through these. We're also doing Adobe Creative Institutes. We just finished doing one in Clark County. But if you're thinking, Martin, we need one in Reno or, any other place, once again, please contact me so that way we can get some training up in your area, because whether it's physically or virtually, we provide free training for all of our school districts in the U.S. So please get at me. We have one more minute. Once again, I'm going to put my information up here, but please make sure. Oh, and then don't forget, if you are going to go and do the audio animate, right? I'm going to put that right here in the chat one more time, and then get at me. So please tag at the tech program and with the hashtag Adobe Edu. So copy that, make a little video about what you learned today. And then if you want to get at me, like I said, get at me at the Tech Profe, or like I said, if you are scanning what you're seeing here, scan that QR code with your phone, and then you'll have all of my contact information, including email as well. So Cynthia, how are we doing? I mean, Cynthia, sis, how are we doing?
We are done on our time. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Please make sure you filled out your session survey. And do we need the attendance form again? We all
Martin,
get the,
what is your next session you're teaching?
My next session is
Create-a-thon.
the Create-a-thon. So how do we make those graphics and how do you make them so your students can use them?
Which session number is that? Sorry, is that 2 or
Session
3?
Session 2, room 10.
All right. Thank you.
And you're all free to head out. And thank you for coming.
We are in room 10.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, yes.
We don't have to go anywhere.
Else we could just stay here.
All right. But